We saw a plume of gas above the ice facility. People were still coughing and sneezing. I have a pepper ball right now here in my hand. We saw in real time when the city constituent consultant came out to tell us about this emergency situation. So this was a protest. There were 10 people or so outside City Hall, and they were going inside to try and talk to Mayor Wilson about the land use violation regarding the ice facility. First off, that rail car is still in the Marys River behind me. If you take a look, and there's two other rail cars that are literally hanging off the edge of the tracks. That car took off, speeding through here at the waterfront park and through that fence behind me before they plunged down into the Willamette River. So Portland police believe that a 22-year-old man killed both his mother and his 10-year-old sister before then taking his own life. Now the neighborhood is rattled and saddened by the loss, coming together to build that memorial that you'll see behind me that's complete with flowers and balloons in their memory. It's been almost 10 hours since that small plane crashed into townhomes here in Fairview, and as you can see behind me, the scene is still very active. Go ahead and take a look. We still have Multnomah County Sheriff's Office on scene, as well as Portland Fire and Rescue. So we were in the town of Lisle just a few hours ago as people were evacuating after receiving that level 3 evacuation notice, and that's where you could really smell the smoke and see the effects of this fire. That chemical explosion happened early this morning before 7:30 at the Nippon facility just along Industrial Way, and like you mentioned, there have been confirmed multiple deaths. There continues to be so many moving parts following this tragic incident here in Longview. For one, we heard from the state's Department of Fish and Wildlife, and they said that they've recovered around 2,000 dead fish. How do you plan to potentially sway the Democratic vote, maybe take those voters?
I have a long track record of serving people.
These roads are still slick. Flooding is still an issue. It only takes around a foot of water to stall your car, if not less. I'm actually along Highway 6 right now, and if you look beyond that high water sign right there behind me, you're going to see some standing water back there. That's been there all day. There's been people trying to come up the road, but then they're being rerouted due to this incident right here with this bus. This snow has been consistently coming down since we got here around noon. At some parts a little heavier than others. About 40 minutes ago, let me tell you, I was in the car and it was really coming down in the windshield. This fair is going on for the next couple of days, but tomorrow might be a little rainy. So if you're watching this, tonight is the night to come out to the fair.
Now we want to turn it over to Salazar-Stevens live from the Portland Ice Facility on the south waterfront. Celine, how are things looking there tonight?
David and Christine, well, things are definitely busier compared to earlier on today when there were only a handful of protesters and some legal observers. But right now, as you can see, as we've gotten later into the evening, that amount of people out here has swelled. We're looking at around 50 people, potentially more, that are out here at the moment. And the number is expected to continue to grow as there's a planned march that's headed to the ice facility sometime very soon as people continue to make their views heard about yesterday's shooting.
I'm just ashamed in where we are right now as a nation.
Thursday's shooting of a man and woman by a Customs and Border Patrol agent led to immediate protests Thursday night throughout Portland that have continued into Friday.
It's tragic, and we're becoming more and more divided when we need to come together and say enough military action, goodbye federal agents. We can handle the situation.
Although it was only a small crowd present Friday morning at the Portland Ice Facility,
they never should have been here in the first place. Portland has control of the situation.
The passion from some was still there.
This is not the country that I served anymore. They've completely abandoned people, veterans, and just all Americans all over. It's a travesty and a disgrace.
David Prislak was initially on his way to Portland from Medford to protest the ICE officer who shot Renee Good in Minneapolis.
When I got into town is when I heard about those two people getting shot in Portland, here. And things have just gotten way too far in this country, just in the wrong way.
Vice President J.D. Vance spoke about the shooting in Minneapolis Thursday, saying that shooting was warranted.
The idea that this was not justified is absurd, and I think everybody knows it in their heart. You have a woman who aimed her car at a law enforcement officer and pressed on the accelerator. Nobody debates that.
Protesters have been demanding federal agents leave Portland, with some even protesting the ICE facility at City Hall Thursday when they learned there was an emergency situation in the city.
What I can report is that recently, within the last couple minutes, there's been an emergency in Portland. The mayor's on the right now with police, including ICE. Something's happened.
So which Portlander did they kill today then?
Brenda with the Portland Immigrant Rights Coalition says,
we are seeing an agency and officers who are operating in a way without any fear of reprisal. And It's scary.
DHS and Portland police say the two people involved were tied to a Venezuelan gang. Brenda says,
I would say that there has been a lot of information that comes from this administration. I'm not saying what they're saying is misinformation now, but I wish I could have faith in an administration that says they're going to investigate it fully before pointing fingers at anyone else but themselves.
Salazar-Stevens is live in Woodburn this afternoon with more on what we know about those detained. Celine?
Stephanie, so according to those I spoke with, the people detained were farm workers and landscapers, all traveling to work together in a van early Wednesday morning when they were arrested by federal agents. Now, Woodburn has seen large amounts of people detained at once before in recent months, and it's something causing increasing worry here in the city.
The families is scared, and all the owners from the stores the same thing.
The fear of immigration enforcement in Woodburn is widespread, and the impact of it ripples into the community.
People are scared to come to the stores, and it's hard to live in this time.
Marco Baron owns a store in Woodburn. He was saddened to hear about the 14 people detained by federal agents Wednesday.
It was an additional 14 people that were detained by ICE, mostly farm workers and landscapers that were on their way to work.
Reina Lopez, president of PICUN, Oregon's farm worker union, describes Woodburn as a vibrant Latino community that's been seeing painful impacts from immigration enforcement.
Many of these folks are essential workers, people who play essential roles like growing our food, taking care of our kids. They're in construction. They're in many industries that are critical to Oregon.
At the end of October, Lopez says 35 workers were detained in Woodburn.
Ever since then, the community has been on high alert.
And in Salem last month, over 25 people were detained in a day. This week, the Trump administration has stepped up immigration enforcement in New Orleans and Minneapolis, which is home to a large Somali population.
And we're at a tipping point. I don't know if people mind me saying that, but I'm saying it. We could go one way or the other, and we're going to go the wrong way if we keep taking in garbage into our country.
Back in Oregon, Woodburn declaring a state of emergency at the end of November related to the economic and humanitarian impacts of federal immigration practices.
Yeah, I think that it's important for cities to, at minimum, to speak up and show their solidarity with the immigrant community. These are communities that are thriving because of the immigrants that are in their community that contribute to that city.
Jess Montoya with Oregon for All says there were likely more people detained Wednesday that are still being counted in, and says those detained were of Hispanic descent.
It's hard and I'm sad because, I see my people. Some people, they'll leave from this country already because they don't want, stay here.
That business owner tells me he's been working here for 26 years and he's never seen people being detained to the extent that they are now. I've reached out to ICE and DHS for more details on these detainments, but I have yet to hear back.